Hey y'all, Jared Sandler with you. Rangers and Angels tonight. First of 4 games between these two teams. Not going to be easy. The Angels, not a playoff team. One of 2 opponents the Rangers have between now and July 21st. Not a playoff team, but the Angels are right there in the mix. Pre-game 6:30. First pitch this past 7, 105.3 The Fan and the Texas Rangers Radio Network. All right, got some numbers and stuff for you, but before we get into that, we're just past the midway point. We're near the All-Star break. And one of the big goals for the Rangers this offseason was to basically do an about-face on their systems and analytics and R&D and the way they utilize all this information, all these numbers to help out players, to help them get better. It's all about this data-driven player development movement. If you're looking for a great book to read to help you understand this, MVP Machine by Ben Lindbergh and Travis Sawchik is the book for you. I'm telling you, it is outstanding. But the Rangers, if you think about it this year, have got a number of guys who are either having the best year of their career or maybe their best year in like 5 or 6 years, or they're doing a particular thing better than ever before. Hunter Pence, maybe the best year of his career, depending on how it finishes out, but he's kind of resurrected his career. Lance Lynn, striking more guys out than ever before and having an outstanding year. Joey Gallo, best year of his career. Mike Minor, best year of his career. Danny Santana, same thing. Logan Forsythe, resurrection. You go around. I know it hasn't worked for Rugi, and it's not perfect. It's not 100% successful. Otherwise, everyone would be doing it and everyone would be putting up great numbers. But, you look at a guy like Jesse Chavez building on what he did last year. Sean Kelly having a good year. Chris Martin having his best year yet. The way it's helped Brett Martin go from a failed minor league starter to a quality big league reliever. And I'm sure I'm missing some guys. Oh, Ariel Horado, Adrian Sampson. I can't forget those guys. There are a number of players who are performing better than expectations. And it's case by case, right? If we were to analyze each individual player, there are specific reasons as to why they're having the success that they're having. But to me, if you take a step back, I think this is a perfect example of how the new methods the Rangers are employing with analytics and using the data to drive player development has been a success. And it's not a surprise, or it shouldn't be, because Chris Woodward came from the Dodgers. And he had 3 years of learning how they utilized all this stuff. And they're the Astros and they're the Dodgers. Those are the 2 teams at the forefront, and the Rays. The Rays are in there as well. The 3 teams at the forefront of data-driven player development. We got a manager who came over from one of those flagship teams in that particular capacity. And I think it's not only the consumption of the data, because, the reality is these days teams have basically the same information. It's developed in a way where the data you have and the data I have probably about 98% similar. But it's the way to decipher that data and then communicate it to the players in ways that they understand to help them improve. And so I just think that's something that has been a big success for the Rangers, and I don't think it's a surprise. And think of how big of a tool this is. Again, it's not a 100% success rate. It doesn't mean every player who plays for the Rangers is going to get better or perform better than they ever have. But the fact that the Rangers are able to do things like what the Rays and the Astros and Dodgers have done over the past few years and take guys, maybe give them a contract that isn't super expensive and have them perform better than value because internally the Rangers have information and processes in place to help guys maximize their ability, that's a dangerous tool in a good way. And I think that's been a real big positive here over the first half of the season. All right. Let's get into tonight's matchup. Let's start with Joey Gallo, one of 3 All-Stars for the Rangers. First time since 2013 the Rangers have had 3 All-Stars. Gallo is their first drafted and developed All-Star since Ian Kinsler. And one thing Joey's done a great job of this year is hit lefties. He's hitting .328 against lefties. The last 2 years, he hit .210 and .226. And across the board, on base percentage, slugging percentage, home run numbers against lefties are all better this year than they have been. And if you compare Joey to other left-handed batters in Major League Baseball and their work against left-handed pitchers, Joey leads Major League Baseball in left-on-left slugging percentage and left-on-left OPS. So big things for Joey. Speaking of lefties, young lefties, Brett Martin didn't get off to a good start this season. On May 13th, Brett Martin woke up with a 9 ERA. Opponents were hitting .306 against him, and he wasn't striking anyone out. Since then, his ERA is .57. He's given up 1 run over nearly 15 innings, striking out more than a batter per inning. and opponents are hitting 240 against him. So big turnaround for Brett Martin. That's been nice to see. All right, speaking of good stretches, Elvis Andrus riding an 8-game hitting streak. That's tied his season high, one shy of Danny Santana's club high for 2019 of 9 games. And then speaking of streaks, the Rangers starters have gone 10 straight games of 6 or more innings, and they've gone 7 straight games delivering a quality start. Mike Minor on the mound to try and increase those streaks here tonight. Let's discuss Mike Minor. He's coming off a great June. I think he should be the AL pitcher of the month in June because he led the American League in ERA in June. He led the American League in batting average against in June. And he led the American League in innings pitched per start in June. He averaged 7.1 innings pitched per start in the month of June, of course, including his complete game last time out. One of the things that Mike's done a really good job of this season is getting lefties and righties out. That changeup has been a big neutralizer for him against righties. He's been among the best left-handed pitchers in Major League Baseball getting righties out. Now, he's going up against an Angels team that has something in common with the Rangers. Neither team swings at the first pitch very often. As a matter of fact, the Angels swing at the first pitch 20% of the time. That's by far and away the lowest in Major League Baseball. The Rangers have the second lowest at 26%. But think of that disparity. That's a 6% disparity. Now, the difference is that the Rangers, when they do swing at the first pitch, do damage. The Angels don't. The Rangers have been really good when swinging to the first pitch with a 384 average. That's third best in Major League Baseball, and their slugging percentage on the first pitch is second best in Major League Baseball. The Angels have the worst batting average and the worst slugging percentage when swinging at the first pitch, so maybe it's a good thing they don't do it very often. The Angels are the toughest team in Major League Baseball to strike out, and one of the guys on their team who's having a step up in his season from last year is Shohei Ohtani. Obviously, Mike Trout is Mike Trout. He's a special player. Shohei Ohtani last year, and this is relevant tonight against lefty Mike Minor, he was a liability against lefties. He hit just .222 against lefties with a .654 OPS. Well, this year, he's hitting .302 against lefties with an OPS near 900. So big difference for Shohei Ohtani. The slugging percentage, against lefties, he's now a threat. He's driving the ball. And so that's something to watch out for tonight. He's coming off a 2-home-run game yesterday, although both home runs were against righties. It's Mike Minor getting the start for the Rangers. Lance Lynn will start on Wednesday. And the Rangers are facing another rookie, another left-handed rookie. They didn't do so well against Brendan McKay on Saturday, and they get a chance to face another left-handed rookie here today. Jose Suarez will be making the start. Not his Major League debut. He's 2-1 with a 5.57 ERA, but he is a rookie. All right, there we go. That's our game preview. 6:30 pregame, 7:05